Ladies and gentlemen, Goodwin Promotions presents a middleweight contest consisting of 6 3-minute rounds, kindly sponsored by Diamond Racing. Firstly, introducing into the blue corner, wearing the white and gold shorts of today's weighing, he's scaled 11 stone and 12 pounds. With a professional record of 3 fights, 2 wins and 1 draw, from Peckham in London, let's hear for Diego Burton. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the black and red shorts. At today's weigh-in, he scaled 11 stone and 9 pounds. With a professional record of 6 fights, 5 wins, 1 loss. From Cranham in Essex, let's hear for Lee Banjo Markham. Referee Ken Curtis will give his final instructions. 6 3-minute rounds.
In the event of a boxer round down there, what goes to a look to the corner, defend yourself all times, okay? 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 Straight hands.
First round.
Diego Burton, just an hour or so from his home, but not a great reception for him. That's because Lee Markham, very much the local boy, just 10 minutes from his doorstep in Cranham, and he is looking to make another impressive notch on his record tonight. 1-5, lost 1 of his 6 professional fights, but he's up against it, against Diego Burton, who's a tough, slick customer in the white and gold trunks. And Kevin Murray, what do you think about this contest?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Lee Markham. He really impressed me last time he was out, and it says a lot about sort of live boxing, because there's a young lad I've got in my gym, a very highly touted amateur called Cameron Smith, and I said to Cameron, who's your favourite boxer at the moment? He said Lee Markham, purely because he saw him in his last fight take on the unbeaten guy who was up against it. He went in there and put in a great performance, so I'm looking forward to see if he can carry on that from his last fight. Very disciplined, mature performance.
Yes, he's made his mark, Lee Markham, and he's got a big fan base he's developing as well, as you can hear from the crowd at ringside. And he's unleashing a good couple of shots there, a big right to the body, but didn't seem to worry Burton too much in the early stages here. Won his first 3 fights, Markham, before taking on Southern Area champion Gary Bolden, lost by a single point in a close call that night. And a lot of people said a bold move to take him on so early in his career. And Markham, at the moment, is the one who's coming forward, but Diego Burton keeping him honest by unleashing a couple of shots in defence. Markham in the black and red trunks.
Yeah, he's fired up Diego. He was kept in the ring waiting for a long time, while Lee Markham's entrance took about 8 minutes, and he was in the ring for a long time, so he's going to be fired up. You know, when you're left in there like that, waiting for the opponent to come in, it gets you wound up, it gets you fired up, and he's come out meaning business in this first round. Yeah,
he was stalking the ring, waiting for his opponent, and Lee Markham just thought, right, we'll let him wait a bit. And there was a little routine beforehand.
This is another good, evenly matched contest. 2 unbeaten fighters in there, putting it on the line. It's great to see in these early developments of the career that they're going to put it on the line and go in against another guy with a winning record.
Burton, 26 years old, Markham, 25. Markham started out at 17, looked up to the likes of Ricky Hatton and Miguel Cotto, and you can see that in his style somewhat.
Yeah, he's a good come-forward fighter. I mean, in his last fight, he was fighting a guy who was unbeaten, won all his fights in the first round knockouts. We didn't know what to expect from that guy. Lee took the risk, fought him, went out there, very disciplined, very compact, ground him down and won by stoppage. Tonight he's up against a different sort of opponent. Unbeaten guy, come forward, wants to win. Another good matchup.
Yeah, London calling it, York call. He became the first to stop the Latvian hammer, Valerijs Mikaulauskas. And Mikaulauskas had a tremendous record of having knocked out every opponent he'd faced up to that point.
Yeah, I think it was all before 50 seconds or something. He was promising he was going to come and do the same thing. He gave us a lot of promises, but Lee Markham sent him away with a different plan. Yeah,
he certainly changed his record somewhat. And Mikaulauskas retired on his stool at the end of the 3rd round. Markham, in that first round, has not had it all his own way, but he's certainly been the aggressor, and as you will see, He's unleashed a couple of good shots. Good left to the head there, and the right he's always looking to follow up with. He's got a very powerful right to the body if he can unleash it. But Diego Burton's shown some good defence so far.
Certainly he's here to win tonight. Two ambitious guys. Good 50-50 fight.
Burton had 3 fights last year. Ian Jackson, Danny Brown and Duncan Cottier, all at York Hall in Bethnal Green. Here tonight in Brentwood, and very much on his opponent's territory. Lee Markham, one of the main fights tonight at the Earthquake in Essex. Still to come, a eagerly awaited heavyweight clash between Ian Lewison and Dorian Darch. No love lost there. And then the Southern Area light middleweight title fight between Chris Aguiadua and Nathan Graham, a rematch from York Hall in September, where they could not be separated, and that was some fight. So lots to look forward to on Sports Tonight Live. At the moment, it's Markham against Burton in a very well-matched battle.
Again, this is a nice disciplined start by Lee. He's just working tightly behind that jab, just trying to control Burton, who's coming forward in that first round, trying to whip the shots around the body, but Lee's not letting him do that now. He's keeping him at the end of that jab, nice and tight, nice and disciplined. I know Steve Goodwin, the promoter, thinks a lot of him is looking forward to moving him forward next year into title fights.
He's a good friend of Joe Mullender, who we already saw tonight, and has done a bit of sparring with him, and Chris Aguiadua as well, who's coming up. But look at Diego Burton unleashing some big shots. He's got some power, and he's starting to think, right, I can get at Markham here. And Markham's just got to look lively. These shots aren't necessarily hurting Markham, though.
No, but they could, you know, gradually grind him down as the fight goes on. Burton's in there. He's seen what Lee's got to offer, and he's saying, well, I can walk through them shots. You know, you put me at the end of that jab, but I'm happy to try and walk past it.
Markham's got him in a corner, though, now here, Burton. And the Peckham fighters very much on the back foot. Markham just pulled into a clinch. He wants to get out of that, and Burton's just managed to extricate himself from that difficult position he found himself in. Good right hand from Markham there, and a nice left as well.
A couple of good shots there. It was a nice little right uppercut. He's landed it again there the second time. A nice little right uppercut, left around the side. That's nice boxing.
Another right over the top from Markham. I was really impressed that night against Mikaulauskas, who, as we said, had this tremendous reputation coming from Latvia. But Markham just stuck to his guns, did what he knew best. And in the end, after the second and third rounds, Mikaulauskas had nothing left.
It was a great performance, because none of us knew what to expect that night. He'd a hell of a lot of knockouts in his amateur days, and then he came over here with a 4-4 record, all first-round knockouts, and I think we were all sat back waiting to see what had happened. Lee went out there, cool as a cucumber, stuck to the game plan, stuck to his boxing, similar to what he's doing tonight. Lovely shots.
3 good shots to the head, and Burton having to just suck those up.
Oh, big uppercut inside.
Nice uppercut as well. And this is a great finish to the second round from Markham. Upstairs, downstairs there. And Burton just leaning on. Markham really showing his dexterity there.
Some beautiful boxing there. Again, lovely combinations.
Burton head is rocked back there by a punch from Markham. And this is exactly what happened against the Latvian. Markham saw what was on offer in the first round, and then really started making some telling blows in the second round. And he picked up where he left off.
Good round. A lot of success with that right uppercut on the inside.
Well, they'll be very, very pleased with how he's gone so far in this fight, Lee Markham. Burton in the first round had unleashed some big shots, but they hadn't exactly hurt Markham, because he keeps those elbows low, covering his body, and his gloves over his head just cows his head slightly behind them. And then once he got his opportunities, he really came in with some terrific punches, which really rocked Burton. Here he just saw the opening, and you can see from Burton he's just actually allowing Markham there the opportunity.
He's just dropping that left hand and walking forward and actually sort of asking for the right uppercut. If he's going to use a crossover guard, he can actually use that to block the right uppercut by bringing his shoulder across, bringing his other hand a little bit further across. He's actually not doing that. He's completely negating that and just opening himself up for the right uppercut, and that's why Markham's landing it with ease so much more. It's a shot he's going to be looking for in this round, I've no doubt about that.
Kevin Murray alongside me here at ringside from the Murray Gym up in Clitheroe. Give us his expert analysis as Burton has had a talking to at the end of that second round and is starting to try and come forward, but again you see Markham just pushes him back into a corner, sets himself, and then will prepare to unleash a couple of punches. There was a good left jab there, and then the right uppercut came through again.
Nice little shot on the inside there, nice little straight right hand just brought around the side there. Definitely classy work coming from Markham, but he can't right out Burton at this stage. He's still in there, he's still game, he's still firing back.
Steve Goodwin has obviously picked a good one here in Lee Markham.
Well, this is what we want, 50-50 fights, good fights. We don't want to go into the fight knowing the winner before we go into it, and this is what these Goodwin shows are putting on at the moment. Good, even match contests, and that's why you can see, you look around you now, the arena's packed.
Yeah, he's brought down a huge fan base here, Lee Markham. He's been developing that over the last year or so, and they will be thrilled to see him fighting so close to home in Cranham, as Burton is not being cowed so far.
Good shot.
But that is a brilliant right again from Markham, and he followed it up with a left over the top.
He actually looks to be hitting hard tonight, Markham, and a lot of that will come from the confidence from his last fight, stopping his opponent. Just having that confidence of sitting down on his shots and letting them go.
Trading some heavy blows there. Once again, Burton just being bullied slightly, just chucked back onto the rope so Markham can have another go. Markham certainly on top at the moment. Left roundhouse, which doesn't really take full toll. Good body shot there from Burton, just keeping Markham honest, and a good right there as well to the head. Markham really compact, isn't he?
He is. He's very, very tidy, very nice and neat. He's got the nice straight shots to work his way into the pocket, and then when he gets in there, he lets the shots go, but covers himself up nicely. He's throwing that right uppercut cleverly because he's slipping the shot, throwing up from the inside, so he's safe by leaning himself to his right-hand side, taking himself out of the firing line, and then bringing his shot up on the inside. It's clever. It's a good shot. That's a lovely ball.
Big left. And that made Diego Burton take a deep breath. That was a sickener that we could feel here at ringside. He's covering up there, Burton in the corner. 21 seconds to go in round 3. Markham, such a good guard he's got. He really doesn't take that much punishment.
Nice job on the move there.
Pinning Burton back right at the end of this third round. And look at those shots. Really nice combination there from Markham. And respect there from Burton. He realises he's in a battle tonight. Markham has been coming forward, certainly in the second and third rounds here tonight. And Burton still showing signs of trying to react, but every time he tries to throw a punch, Markham seems to be ahead of him.
It's sickening, and we spoke about it earlier, it stops a fighter from letting his hands go. Every time you throw a shot, if you get countered, soon puts you in your shell.
Burton, I'm sure he'll have brought up a few of his own supporters from Peckham. Only about an hour up the road, but at the moment, Markham's fans are the ones making themselves heard. Although we heard a Welsh anthem before this one for Dorian Dutch, who's up next.
They were warming up.
Yeah, they were singing Bread of Heaven. So there's plenty of Welshmen who've made the journey as well to support him against Ian Lewison, the heavyweight from Brixton. But in this super middleweight contest, 4th round of 6 now, and Markham is on top against the undefeated Burton.
And he won't want to let that undefeated record go lightly tonight now, so these last few rounds now he'll be knowing he's behind on the scorecards, and he won't want to lose that 0. He'll be coming forward now these next few rounds, trying to get that win. That's a nice little shot he threw there on the inside, nice little right hand. That's better.
It really makes you sit up and take notice as well when you realise that he hasn't felt that horrible feeling of defeat yet in the pro ranks, and he'll be determined now to start turning this fight around in the 4th.
Of course, yeah, I mean, it's all there for him. He's unbeaten, he's fighting, like we say, very close to his hometown. He does not want to lose tonight. This is a good contest.
Good left hand from Markham there. last fight at the York Hall in Bethnal Green. It was really not too far for his fans to travel.
Good shot, great shot.
Here again. Tries to unleash the big uppercut there again, Markham. Burton standing more upright in this round. And he's keeping Markham at arm's length, but every so often Markham can just get inside and deliver a couple of crunching blows. And that's what he'll try and do here. When he's had Burton in the corner, he's really put the pressure on.
See, that's nice boxing there now. See the way he's just letting his hands go nice and light, distracting his opponent, bringing his hands up, and then whack, he'll bring a big shot in. Clever, clever boxing, that's the way.
Burton needs to get out of there as well. And he does that with a couple of bigger shots. One to the body and one to the head. Markham showing good footwork, and look at these shots he's unleashing now a bit.
He's incredibly tough, Burton, because he's got absolutely no defence whatsoever. He just plods forward, his hands are in completely the wrong position, he's taking these shots flush, and he's still in there and he's still firing back.
Good chin.
Very good chin, very hard head. He's just coming forward, again taking them shots. That was a flush right hand, he just caught there on the top of the head.
Well, he might learn from that. He's relatively new, of course, to the pro ranks, the 26-year-old, and he might just start to have that trained out of him, because it's not always a good portent for a long career if you're taking heavy blows in every fight. But maybe this is just a level up from what he's seen so far, because Markham is
that's a big left hook.
A lovely left shot.
He took that incredibly well. That was a flush left hook on the chin. Burton just looked at him like he wasn't even phased. It was
incredible, wasn't it? Because we were right behind that shot and we saw how much power there was in it. And Markham must just be shaking his head thinking, that was one of my best shots.
He is one tough man. He's certainly got a chin.
Look at that. Markham really went for a left there. Didn't quite connect with it. And later in the round, caught him with some more excellent blows. Right to the body there, but some good work to the head. But there was a left just towards the end of this round, which we really had a great view of. We had the over-the-shoulder shot, and it really should have rattled his opponent. But Diego Burton stood strong and looked him straight back in the eyes.
Incredibly tough. He must be in great shape. Took some real big shots in that round.
Here we go then, round 5 in this 6th-round contest for Burton and Markham in the super middleweight division. Markham in the black and red trunks keeps looking to try and push Burton back here and try and get him on the ropes or in the corner where he can start really laying into him. But that was a good shot from Burton, just making sure that Markham knows where he is, and you can hear from the corner he's being ordered to try and keep throwing that punch right to the body. He's not done yet, is he, Burton?
He's not at all. No, in his corner are trying to fire him up. They're shouting, liven up, you know, keep throwing, keep throwing. They want him in this fight. They still feel there's a bit of success here to be had.
Well, we think that Markham must be ahead on the scorecards, but Burton is showing good form in this 5th round.
Again, another big shot, and Burton just stands there like nothing's happened.
Well, some fighters are blessed with a toughness and resilience that others aren't. Markham with another big right over the top. And again, Burton unfazed. Markham comes in. That was a kind of low right there, but now the big shots over the top. And the crowd started to rise to Markham as he...
And Burton comes straight back.
He just can't put this fighter away at the moment, Markham. And we saw against Mikaulauskas that he can pack a punch, Markham.
He can hit, and he's catching some of these flush, just not moving him. Wow. He could break a lot of boxers' hearts, this Diego Burton.
Burton, a warrior, is not to be denied at the moment.
I don't know what's going to be more sore tomorrow, Burton's head or Lee Markham's hands, because he's bounced some shots off him here, and they are going to accumulate. Them gloves are tiny.
Look at them trading blows in the centre of the ring now. This is a terrific fight.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Markham still finding that Burton will not take a backward step. And now this is becoming quite a battle. And Markham just needs to be careful that as the clock ticks down towards the end of the 6th round, that he doesn't leave Burton to think, well, I've just got to go for it now, because that is what it could be in the last round. And I think in this 5th round, Burton's done very well.
He really has, and it can be a danger in a fight like this where you've thrown everything at a guy for 5 rounds. He stands there, he doesn't look phased, and then he starts coming forward at you. You might have blown yourself out, and the other guy's coming forward, and the fight can change. You know, we're in for a really interesting last round.
Burton showing how much that undefeated record means to him. And Markham is in a real battle here. And the local boy needs to lift himself for a final round assault. Look at Burton, turns away, and he raises his glove to the crowd. He knows that the crowd here, who were expecting him to wilt somewhat, maybe after the first 3 rounds, he's done nothing of the sort.
Not at all, and his fans have now moved forward closer to the ring to give him a bit of shouting, a bit of encouragement, a bit of geeing up, and we'll see what effect now this last round's going to have on him, trying to save his undefeated record.
Well, I think in that 5th, he really gave a good account of himself, Burton, and caused Markham some real problems. But as you can see, it sometimes masks the fact that Markham threw some excellent punches in that round as well.
That was a great round of boxing.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Really 50-50 stuff. And both of them really giving 100%. There was no hiding place there in the ring then.
Certainly not.
2 warriors. So, final round. Ken Curtis comes to the centre of the ring, says touch gloves, and here we go. What has this final 3 minutes got in store? We've been treated to a great fight.
Well, Mike Burton's got to stop him, so if he wants to keep the undefeated record, he's got to come forward, which could open himself up to Markham, but it's a risk he's got to take if he wants to win this fight. Big shot!
With a great right hand, and down goes Burton for the first time. And finally he does feel a punch, and boy did he feel that one. He gave a rueful smile as he hit the canvas, as if to say, yeah, you did finally catch me.
His legs aren't steady. This could be stopped.
That was a great right hand.
Referee's
here comes Markham, and Curtis says that is enough. He's seen enough, and again there's a smile from Burton and a pat to the head from the referee Ken Curtis, but Markham has done it. He was up against it in that 5th round, but he showed what a warrior he is when he came out in the 6th, and that was one of the best right hands you'll see for a while.
Shot of the night, we think.
Terrific, wasn't it?
Tremendous shot.
Given what the punishment that Burton had taken already, that was a really great punch that caught him absolutely flush.
I mean, how he got up from that and wanted to carry on. This Burton's a machine. Full credit to Lee Markham, though. Great display again tonight.
And there it is.
Huge shot.
He threw the left, Burton, left himself undefended. And another angle to
settle with a jab.
This from over the shoulder of Markham. Just wait for this right hand as Burton tries to throw the
big right hand over the top.
And that
beautiful
is a superb punch. And Burton, courage to get up from that. But that's something for Markham to really write home about. A 2nd knockout and a 6th win in his career, and going from strength to strength.
Great performance.
Well, Lee Markham has put on a show for his fans here. As I said, just 10 minutes from his front door, and he will be really chuffed to bits. Not only has he had a really good workout there, which is what Steve Goodwin wanted when he puts these fighters in against other top-rated fighters. An undefeated fighter he was up against tonight, Markham, and he had to work for that, but that was a really terrific punch at the end of that.
Contest, I'd like to congratulate both fighters on a fantastic contest. After 45 seconds of round 6, referee Ken Curtis has deemed Burton in no position to continue. Your winner, from Cranham and Essex, Lee Banjo Markham.
Lee Markham, that was a great fight and a worthy winner. What a punch that was. Good luck to Lee Markham. He goes from strength to strength.
Let's have a big round of applause for a very gallant opponent.
Lee, congratulations. That was your 7th pro fight. Do you think it would end in a knockout? Not really, no. He was tough as you like. I hit him with everything, and he was still standing and sort of laughing in a way, still throwing big punches back. But you can see that's a shot me and Len was working on in training. That's why we was like, over the top at the end with like all the cuddles and that, because it was a shot we was working on. But it took me 6 rounds to actually throw it and land it. But yeah, I thought I was going to win on points either way. So
we can actually show you if you look over on the monitor now. Oh, well, the joys of live television. We could show you, but so that's the actual shot you've been working on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so the shot we've been working on, because we've only seen short bits of him, but...
Super middleweight challenger, Mr. Mark Prince.
Drawing that jab out and then just bowling the right hand over. And, yeah, just caught him perfect, really. Let's have a look.
And also just spotted somebody else, a former European.
Yeah.
To be fair, you were trading some big blows. It didn't look like any was going to come through.
No, well, we were standing in the corner. Len was saying, I think this is going to go the whole way. He was just taking. I was hitting a lot of body shots. I could feel him wincing a bit, but he was definitely a tough, very tough opponent, and very good match from Steve Goodwin. I hope like everyone who's watching it's enjoyed it, and everyone at home. So yeah. I'm glad, really.
Now, your only defeat came to Gary Bolden. Yeah. Would you like to see a possible rematch now after that?
Yeah, me and Steve spoke about it. As Sam, we definitely won in the future with Gary Bolden, and I'd just leave it with him. Obviously, that's the fight I want to put right, and I'm sure I can next time out.
Steve, you must be delighted with that matchup.
Yeah, well, we're looking after Lee, and he's doing the job for us. He's beaten Mikaulauskas. Now he's beaten Diego Burton. That's 2 undefeated fighters in a row. We're making the right progressions, and we'll continue to build the right fights for him throughout 2013. No doubt he's a future champion.
Yeah, he was stalking the ring, waiting for his opponent, and Lee Markham just thought, right, we'll let him wait a bit. And there was a little routine beforehand.
This is another good, evenly matched contest. 2 unbeaten fighters in there, putting it on the line. It's great to see in these early developments of the career that they're going to put it on the line and go in against another guy with a winning record.
Burton, 26 years old, Markham, 25. Markham started out at 17, looked up to the likes of Ricky Hatton and Miguel Cotto. And you can see that in his style somewhat.
Yeah, he's a good come-forward fighter. I mean, in his last fight, he was fighting a guy who was unbeaten, won all his fights in the first-round knockouts. We didn't know what to expect from that guy. Lee took the risk, fought him, went out there very disciplined, very compact, ground him down and won by stoppage. Tonight he's up against a different sort of opponent. Unbeaten guy, come forward, wants to win. Another good matchup.
Yeah, London calling it York call. He became the first just an hour or so from his home. But not a great reception for him. That's because Lee Markham, very much the local boy, just 10 minutes from his doorstep in Cranham. And he is looking to make another impressive notch on his record tonight. 1-5, lost 1 of his 6 professional fights. But he's up against it, against Diego Burton, who's a tough, slick customer in the white and gold trunks. And Kevin Mari, what do you think about this contest?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Lee Markham. He really impressed me last time he was out, and it says a lot about sort of live boxing, because there's a young lad I've got in my gym, a very highly touted amateur called Cameron Smith, and I said to Cam, I said, who's your favourite boxer at the moment? He said Lee Markham, purely because he saw him in his last fight take on the unbeaten guy who was up against it. He went in there and put in a great performance, so I'm looking forward to see if he can carry on that from his last fight. Very disciplined, mature performance.
Yes, he's...
With a professional record of 6 fights, 5 wins, 1 loss, from Cranham in Essex, let's hear for Lee Banjo Markham. Referee Ken Curtis will give his final instructions. 6 3-minute rounds.
Boxing around down there, what goes to a look to the corner, defend yourself at all times, okay? 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 Try again.
First round.
Diego Burton has made his mark, Lee Markham, and he's got a big fan base he's developing as well, as you can hear from the crowd at ringside. And he's unleashing a good couple of shots there, a big right to the body, but didn't seem to worry Burton too much in the early stages here. Won his first 3 fights, Markham, before taking on Southern Area champion Gary Bolden. Lost by a single point in a close call that night. And a lot of people said a bold move to take him on so early in his career. And Markham, at the moment, is the one who's coming forward. But Diego Burton keeping him honest by unleashing a couple of shots in defence. Markham in the black and red trunks.
Yeah, he's fired up Diego. He was kept in the ring waiting for a long time while Lee Markham's entrance took about 8 minutes, and he was in the ring for a long time, so he's going to be fired up. You know, when you're left in there like that, waiting for the opponent to come in, it gets you wound up, it gets you fired up, and he's come out meaning business in this first round.
Ladies and gentlemen, Goodwin Promotions presents a middleweight contest consisting of 6 3-minute rounds, kindly sponsored by Diamond Racing. Firstly, introducing into the blue corner, wearing the white and gold shorts of today's weighing, he's scaled 11 stone and 12 pounds. With a professional record of 3 fights, 2 wins and 1 draw, from Peckham in London, let's hear for Diego Burton. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the black and red shorts. At today's weighing, he scaled 11 stone and 9 pounds.